So the goal of this class, this drawing class tonight, is just to get the creative juice going. So the concepts that will be taught tonight are very simple. I realize some people are advanced, but some people are intermediate and some people are beginners. So I just want us to get together and do simple exercises together. And so therefore, I'm going to start by showing you just a short 30-second video of a drawing that I did, just to get your juice going. That's not where we're going to draw today, but I thought I would start with that just to make it interesting. Oh, I'm not looking. Okay, here it is. All right. So this is a drawing. See this martini glass in the background? I did a drawing of this little martini glass. I'm going to run the video. It's just a 30-second one to show you how the drawing can be done. So you can see first I do the outline of the whole object. Then after that, I indicate the tone of the background, and then I draw the foot and the detail on the foot and the shadow. Then I go to the cup portion where I put the detail. Then I complete the background. That's it. So now that we saw a little something that was quickly done, it actually took me probably an hour to do this drawing, but with the technology today, you can do a lot of things. All right, so for today, I wanted to start by talking a little bit about the pencils that we use. So I use these pencils. For class today, I asked you to get 3 pencils. And if you don't have them, that's okay. You can always acquire them later. I said get a 4B, an HB, and a 4H. So I have 12 different pencils, but basically the 4H is on this side. You can see I have used it, but not a whole lot. And this is the lightest one. H stands for hard. And so therefore it makes it for a very light color pencil. And then the HB is in the middle. So and then the 4B is on this side. You can say B is for bold, so it's going to give you a very dark color. And if you buy a little packet like this, which you don't necessarily need, then you can see on it how, you know, the different tone of the pencils. So the B's are at the top with the darkest colors, and the H are at the bottom with the 9H. Those are the lightest one. You can see how light it is. So this give a good idea of the gradation. So to start today, I wanted to show you this small little exercise that I did with my pencils. So I started here at the top with the 4H, putting as little pressure as I can on the pencil, and then coming down, putting more and more pressure as I come down. And here at the bottom is the darkest that I could get with the 4H. Then I did the same thing with the HB, so very little pressure on my pencil, coming down to the darkest that I could get with the HB. And then I used the 4B, starting at the top, going to the bottom. At the bottom, that's where I put the most pressure, and it gives me the darkest that I can get with my pencil. So what I'd like to do at this time is so that you get to know your own pencils. So take 3 of your pencils, or and if you have the 4H, the HB, and the 4B, take those and do a little exercise like this. I'll give you five minutes. So try your pencils. So go with a very light touch and go to the dark, the hardest that you can press on your pencil, and do the same thing with the next one and with the next one. So if you have a whole box, just try these 3. If you only have 1, then do the 1. If you have 2, then do the 2. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. Can you see it says Chez Claire Art School Trying Class May 2020? Yes, I can see some people nodding. All right, so this is the first exercise that we did. And then I prepared this little simple landscape that I want to show you. And the reason I'm showing you this is so that you can note how this little road in the middle, it's either a little road or you can say it's a little creek. It's the same width at the bottom as it is in the middle of the drawing. And for that reason, it kind of looks a little bit weird. So the reason it looks weird is because the perspective is not quite on. So if I go to the next slide, you can see on the left-hand side, it's the first drawing that I showed you. And on the right-hand side is a drawing where now the little road is very wide at the bottom. It's almost the whole width of the drawing. And it goes to a very skinny road right here. And it goes to nothing before it reaches the mountains in the back. And you can tell how, just by looking at this, the drawing on the right-hand side has a much better perspective. It really gives us the sense that this road goes backwards in the deep distance. So next time that you want to do a road or a little creek, you can refer back to this. Now, if we go one step further, so this is the drawing that I was showing you, where it has a wider, this is better. It's got a wider creek at the bottom than it does at the top. So it gives us the sense of perspective. Now, the horizon line, meaning the bottom of the mountains here, is right here, which is about 1/3 down. Now, if I show the next drawing, now in this drawing, I'm showing you on the left, the drawing of the creek that is wide at the bottom and goes to a skinny, very skinny in the background. And on the right-hand side, it's the same drawing, but this time I decided to draw it on a format that is wider than it is high, and gives us a sense of even more of a depth. So if I go and show it big, so here again the creek is very wide at the bottom and it goes to nothing. But now we have a format that gives us even more of a better composition. However, in this drawing, the horizon line, meaning where the mountains meet the grass or the land, the horizon line's right in the middle. So then I'm going to show you the next one. So on the left is with the horizon line in the middle, and on the right is with the horizon line just below the middle of my drawing. And if you just look at it, you can tell that the drawing on the right-hand side has a much better perspective and composition than the one on the left. So we're going to go back this time to, oops, ooh. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, I messed up. Someone wants to chat. Computer is running out of juice. Gotta go. Okay. So you can still see my screen now, but okay, this is it. What I was trying to do is go back to this drawing here. And I want to give you probably 10 or 15 minutes to do this drawing in your book or in your sketchbook. Now, this afternoon when I presented this exercise to the class, someone asked me, how do we start? So I could do a little demonstration on how to do this drawing. Now, would that be something anybody would be interested in? Yes, no, you have to unmute yourself if you want to say. Yes, okay, I can see some people nodding.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right.
What size is it?
That's what I was going to ask, if it's square or 9 by 12.
It's actually kind of 9 by 12. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to show you. But it's actually a very small little drawing that I did. So it's this one here. Let me show you like this. And the format is it's a little wider than it's high. But what I'll do is I will point my camera towards my book and I will do a demonstration. So this afternoon, I did the demonstration like so. You can tell. But I'll just do a new demonstration. I'll turn my book. Oh, we're lucky. We still have one more page in this book. All right, so basically, to do this this simple landscape, first you have I indicate the horizon line, which is about 1/3 down. So in my book, this is approximately where the middle is. So the 1/3 down would probably be approximately right here. And so I'm going to put my horizon line. So for the sake of this demonstration, because we're on camera, I want to make sure that you can see what I'm drawing. So I'm going to draw dark lines. But when I usually draw, and I do the first sketch, I usually draw, I press lightly on my pencil. So if I want to erase it, I can. But I just want to make sure that you can see. So I'm going to press hard. So this is my horizon line, straight across. And I want to indicate my creek or my road. So the road doesn't start right at the horizon line.
Excuse me, I have a question. Which pencil should we use?
I'm sorry?
Which pencil should we use for this?
Oh, yes. So to start with, I always start with my HB.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can do a whole lot with the HB, but when I switch pencils, I will let you know which one I switch to.
Thank you.
All right, so horizon line first. Now about 1 inch below the horizon line, a little bit to the left, is where I start my creek or my road. And it's just like a reversed C in terms of the shape. Just like that. So that's the outside, like the left side of my road. And then the right side of the road will go like this to the bottom. So now we have a very wide road at the bottom, and it goes to a very skinny and nothing towards when it goes away from us. This gives a nice sense of perspective. Once I have drawn these elements, I'm going to draw the mountain on the right-hand side. It's a little closer to us. This. And even if you have a slightly different shape of a mountain, that's okay. Then I'm going to do the mountain on the right. Varying the shape of those mountains is a good idea. Sorry. So I'm just going to go down from here. Like this. Okay. Actually, I don't like the shape of this one, so I'm using my kneaded eraser to erase. There, this is better. All right, so now that I have my elements drawn, I'm going to show a little closer just to make sure that you see. This is how I start. Then using my pencils, I'm going to shade in the different areas. So the sky, I'm going to leave completely white. And the road, I'm going to leave completely white as well. And using my 4H, so if you don't have a 4H, use the lightest pencil that you have. I'm going to start with very far away. The land will be very light in color. As I come down, which is coming towards us, then I'm going to go with press more and more, and eventually I will change and use a darker pencil to do the bottom part. So, and if you feel like you're comfortable starting this, just go ahead and draw with me. We'll do like Bob Ross and do happy little trees soon. Now, because I have an easel and this is in the way, I'm going to turn it this way. Do this part, it's easier. Now, pretty much done the same tone from the horizon to the bottom so far. All right, so far I have pretty much the same tone. Now I'm switching to my HB to put a little darker tone here at the bottom. Because as the land comes towards me, it's usually darker. It gives a good sense of perspective. All right, so now we already feel the sense of the land coming forward because we did the darkest color in the front. And I'm switching pencil, but it's still an HB. I'm going to do this mountain here, which is a little closer to us than that one, so I'm going to make it darker. And the other mountain here is a little further away. So now I'm going to take my 4H and do a first coat, first tone on this mountain. When you look, when you go in the and drive in the mountain like in Vermont, and you look at the mountains that are far away, they always appear to be a little lighter and a little bluer. And that's because you see those mountains through the atmosphere, and in the atmosphere there's all sorts of particles, and you know, there's a little bit of cloud, maybe there's a little bit of droplets and pollution, and all of this air that's supposed to be invisible actually hides and puts a film on those mountains that are far away. So now I'm switching to my HB. Put a little darkness here at the bottom of this mountain. And now with my kneaded eraser, I'm going to show you a little closer. This is where I'm at now. But what looks funny is this line here at the top, because with this line, it looks like it's almost like a cartoon. So what I do is I use my kneaded eraser and I erase this line. And that's why usually I don't make it so dark, because this way it makes it easier to erase. I'm going to do the best that I can. You can use a regular eraser too to do this. Now, I'm using my 4H again. This line to disappear. Right, so this line here, without the line, it looks a lot better, this mountain. And I'm going to clean this one up as well. Now the kneaded eraser is very magical, because with a kneaded eraser you can lighten a certain area just by pressing on it. And I want to show you the magic of this just by doing a close demonstration. So if I take my kneaded eraser and I just press in a certain area like this, and see how much lighter it went. It didn't erase everything, but sometimes when you're doing like a portrait, for example, you just want to lighten a certain area, or any kind of drawing, you can do that, and it's very useful. All right, and therefore I'm going to use the kneaded eraser to also create this even lighter area in the background of the land, right close to the mountain over here. And also, I'm lightening this line that I have at the same time. I'm taking my 4H again and can very lightly add back a little bit of the tone, not too much. I can clean this up here. So the same way that we remove the line around the mountain, we want to do the same thing around the creek. So I'm going to use my kneaded eraser and remove those lines. Like so. Once I've removed it, I can always come back with my HB or 4H. Just like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and all the way to here. I'm going to use my my 4H. And with a kneaded eraser, what's great is you can mold it and like make it very thin. And with this very thin eraser, then you can do a very thin line where the road loses itself and goes to nothing. Like this. And you could even use the 4B to make the front here go even darker here at the bottom. Of course, this is an extremely simple landscape, but there are people in this group that are beginners, so I wanted to start with something very simple. And if you're more advanced, then go ahead and be creative and make it even more interesting. So some of you have probably been drawing a storm, and if you would like to show me, I would really like that.